Hi guys, welcome back to Omocha Reviews. Anne here, and today we're gonna be talking about our first impressions of the demo version of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Now, Nintendo has just dropped the entire first chapter of the game, which is, when you think about it, pretty damn generous considering that we have less than a month left before the game's release. I'll say this now, this is my first time playing a Hyrule Warriors game, but I have played Breath of the Wild, which is why you'll be hearing me compare the two from time to time. Before actually playing Hyrule Warriors, my only impression of it was that it would be an adrenaline-pumping hack-and-slash game. And really, I was right. But I don't think I could have anticipated just how wild Age of Calamity would be. The game opens with King Roam sending his soldiers out to war against the biggest invasion of monsters Hyrule has ever seen. It's one very dramatic picture leading to our first look at a younger, dreamier Link. From there, you are thrust into complete madness as you charge straight towards a horde of bokoblins. If there was anything about Hyrule Warriors that I wasn't prepared for, it was the sheer number of enemies that you'd have to cut down per round, as well as how addictingly fun it would be to actually do so. The game is incredibly high-paced from the get-go, with so many enemies and so many objectives to complete that it was almost dizzying. It was to the point that it was actually a little difficult for me to absorb all these new controls and moves right off the bat, especially considering that many of them don't really match the ones from Breath of the Wild. But when I did master them on my second round of playing the Hyrule Field stage, I couldn't get enough of getting Link to destroy everything in sight. Getting to play as Impa and Zelda was also an amazing treat, especially considering how different their fighting styles are. Zelda has a moveset entirely dependent on the runes, with each press of your button summoning a different one every time. And this made it so much fun to trash everyone around. Her finishers in particular are very satisfying to watch. Impa, on the other hand, is every Naruto fan's chance to live their shinobi dreams with a moveset full of Shika Jutsu madness. Personally, what I enjoyed most was using Link to mow everything over by shield surfing. You would not believe how thrilled I was to discover that this game had a weapon reinforcement mechanic, something I've been dreaming about for Breath of the Wild for ages now. And I like that Hyrule Warriors still gives you the chance to go off the main plot in side quests that are addicting to just play and beat over and over again. But if there was one thing I didn't expect to enjoy so much about Hyrule Warriors, it was the presence of other people. From what we've seen in the demo, it's very rare that you will be alone in this game, and I also appreciated actually being able to travel as a party rather than alone, to fight alongside these other characters and beat enemies together, and even order them to go to certain areas of the stage's map. The feeling of being in a team, whether it's with Impa, Zelda, or even nameless Hylian soldiers, it just felt so alien, but so refreshing. In that same way, it was also so fascinating to see what a fully populated Hyrule was like 100 years ago, even if you couldn't really explore it the way you could in Breath of the Wild. Age of Calamity is very direct about getting you from point A to point B as quickly as possible and giving you some very specific objectives, which fits the area of a prequel since these are fixed events that lead to Link finally fighting Calamity Ganon 100 years later. I think it was very clever of Nintendo to put this prequel in a completely different format like this. As I said in our other Zelda video, Breath of the Wild 2 has the incredible challenge of wowing the same players with the same Hyrule. With this completely different mechanic, Age of Calamity presents a Hyrule that we haven't seen or experienced before. The times are different, so of course the pace is definitely very different. At this point in time, Link is well aware of everywhere he needs to go and what he'll find there, which translates into us already having a complete map already marked with specific points of interest, such as merchants, stables, cooking pots, side quests. By doing all of this, Nintendo made it impossible for us to draw a direct comparison with Breath of the Wild, in the same way we inevitably will when the sequel is released. And when you think about it, this was probably the smartest move that Nintendo could have possibly made for a prequel. And personally, I can't wait to play the rest of the game, especially considering that the champions are finally going to make their appearance. Until then, I am going to replay every single stage of this game again and again, simply because it is that addicting. Anyway, if you've played the demo, what do you think of Age of Calamity so far? Let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, please do leave us a like. And if you want to see more Hyrule Warriors content, don't forget to hit that notification button. This is Anne, and until next time, goodbye!